My name is Donald Carmichael, pastor of Christ Fellowship Restoration Ministry, or Church, in Millington, Tennessee. We thank you for this opportunity to come and to share with you the Word of God. We would like to, just for a few minutes, share with you a word from the book of Job, the first chapter, beginning with verse 7. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one who feareth God and eschews evil? Now, what we'd like to do for just a couple of minutes is use this subject, what you don't know. It's interesting to see that during this particular passage that the sons of God come together that they might meet with God. And it's interesting to see that Satan comes along with them. This is nothing new. This is just a pattern that Satan has figured out and he's used all down through the years. Satan is still coming to church on Sunday mornings when you show up. When you show up at the church, Satan shows up at the church. When you go to prayer meetings, Satan shows up at prayer meetings. Wherever you go, Satan sometimes is going to show up. And if he doesn't show up, he's just going to send somebody, one of those little imps that he has, to go out and do this reconnaissance for him so that he can learn what it is he needs to know about you. You need to understand that he is an enemy. And an enemy uses strategies so that they can defeat their particular enemies. And so this particular time, Satan shows up with the sons of God. And God recognizes him. See, God always recognizes Satan. God knows where he is at all times. And Satan understands that he can only do what God allows him to do. And so he asked Satan, he said, Satan, where have you been, and where are you going, and what are you up to? And it's not like God doesn't know, but he wants to see if Satan's going to be truthful with him. Of course now, as he answers, what happens is God kind of puts somebody out there. He says, have you considered my servant Job? You need to understand something, and we can drop a pin right here. A lot of times, it's not that you've done anything. A lot of times, it's not that there's something out there that you deserve or something that you're having to pay for, but it could be very, very simply that God is just putting you out there because you had the nerve to say you were a Christian. And so God puts you out there to see if you can handle what comes with being a Christian. Here's the deal. When Satan answered God, he said, hey, you got a hedge around him. If you take that hedge, I guarantee you, he will turn on you. But that's when God kind of lets him know, hey, what you don't know is, I got this fella. And I can show you better than I can tell you. You need to understand that Job had no idea that he was being put on the spot. But here's the deal. When you got it on the inside, it can't help but to show up on the outside. Believe it now, what you don't know. What people see is one thing, but there's a lot that they don't know. They don't know that you've gone through some struggles. They don't know that you've had some hard times. They don't know that you've had those days when you didn't want to get up in the morning. But since you had a God on your side and he's already put your resume out there to what you are and what you can be, you get up and you go on in the name of the Lord. And it's all because what you don't know. Tuning in. I hope that you'll join us again. Once again, I'm Pastor Donald Carmichael, pastor of Christ Fellowship Restoration Church, Millington, Tennessee.